Sir Reginald Strongforth, a knight of middling renown and exceptional mustache, adjusted his helmet. It pinched. Today was the day. He was off to rescue Princess Aurelia from the clutches of Ignis, a dragon of considerable grumpiness and questionable hygiene. Reginald wasn't thrilled. He'd much rather be tending his prize-winning petunias. But a knight's got a knight, and besides, Queen Mildred had promised him a lifetime supply of custard creams if he succeeded. His steed, a somewhat overweight pony named Horace, ambled along the cobblestone path. Horace wasn't built for speed, but he was excellent company, especially when Reginald shared his custard creams, which was often. The journey was uneventful, save for a brief detour caused by Horace's insatiable appetite for dandelions. They passed through whispering woods, where Reginald bravely fought off a swarm of particularly aggressive butterflies and crossed the gurgling gorge, which, true to its name, gurgled rather alarmingly. Finally, they arrived at Mount Cinder, Ignis's lair. Smoke billowed from the peak, and the air smelled distinctly of burnt toast and sulfur. Reginald dismounted Horace, patted him reassuringly, and drew his sword. It was a bit rusty, but serviceable. He ascended the mountain, each step crunching on volcanic rock. The heat intensified, and Reginald began to sweat. He reached the entrance to Ignis's cave, a gaping maw in the mountainside. Taking a deep breath, Reginald stepped inside. A cave was surprisingly tidy for a dragon's lair. There were piles of gold, of course, but they were neatly stacked, and in the center of the cave, playing a game of solitaire with a deck of enchanted cards, was Princess Aurelia.
"Oh, Reginald, you're here," she said, barely glancing up.
"Took you long enough. Ignis is in the back, trying to fix his telly. The aerial's gone wonky." Reginald blinked. "The telly?" Aurelia sighed. "Yes, he's obsessed with bake-off. Says he's going to open a bakery when he retires from the whole fire-breathing thing." Just then, Ignis lumbered into the room. He was enormous, scales the color of molten lava, and he wore a pair of spectacles perched precariously on his snout. "Ah, Reginald," he boomed, his voice surprisingly gentle. "Come to rescue the princess, have you? Splendid. Aurelia's been teaching me how to make a Victoria sponge. Care to join us?" Reginald, thoroughly bewildered, lowered his sword. Bake? Bake a cake? And so, instead of a fearsome battle, Reginald found himself in a dragon's lair, learning the art of cake making. Princess Aurelia was a surprisingly good teacher, and Ignis, despite his fiery reputation, was a charming host. They spent the afternoon baking, laughing, and sharing stories. Reginald discovered that Ignis wasn't grumpy at all, just misunderstood. And Princess Aurelia, well, she was more interested in baking than being rescued. As the sun began to set, Reginald knew he had to return to the kingdom. He bid farewell to Aurelia and Ignis, promising to visit again soon. He mounted Horace and began the descent. As they rode, Reginald realized that he hadn't exactly rescued the princess, but he had made two unlikely friends, and he had learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes the greatest adventures are the ones you least expect. Besides, he was bringing back a Victoria sponge, and that was almost as good as a lifetime supply of custard creams. Almost.